Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to this webinar hosted by New Zealand Shores and Victoria University of Wellington. My name is Fabian Maisonneuve. I'm a licensed immigration advisor at New Zealand Shores, and it's great to have you all here today. What we would like to do is talk about student options, student prospects. And first, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to my colleague, Winnie Wang, who is a licensed advisor in the Hamilton office, and of course, Fiona Mann, who is International Regional Manager at Victoria University. Fiona brings over a decade of experience in the education sector, so we're looking forward to hearing what she has to say about the course offering at VUW, Victoria University. But before I turn to Fiona, a brief reminder of who we are. New Zealand Shores has been assisting individuals and families move to New Zealand since 2009. We've recorded over 14,000 successful visa applications, and essentially we can make your dream come true. Our team of licensed advisors and education agents will work with you very closely to map out your migration. So Winnie, what exactly is the role of an education agent? Can you tell us a bit more about this?
Absolutely. Thanks, Fabian. So an education agent is approved by an education provider to facilitate your enrollment. We know the options available to you across our partner network, and we can also advise accordingly. We are education agents for the majority of New Zealand education providers across all levels. And we also suggest course options and take care of the enrollment processes, as well as assisting with your visa applications for you and your family.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Winnie. So today we won't be discussing the recent and frequent immigration changes regarding in-study or post-study work rights. We won't be discussing the residence pathways either, which also have changed. But you will know that these webinars are already available on our YouTube channel. So we'll put a link in the description below. So as Winnie pointed out, essentially an education agent will discuss your expectations and your prospects with you to determine the best course or series of courses to achieve your goals. Then we'll advise on enrollment requirements. We will liaise with the education provider through all the way through to receiving your offer of place. In most cases, our student visa service is free of charge because education agents work through a commission structure with education providers. But now to today's topic, we are very excited to showcase the amazing opportunities that Victoria University can offer for prospective international students.
Great. So, tēnā koutou katoa. My name is Fiona Mann. I'm from Victoria University of Wellington. So thank you so much for tuning into this session to hear more about the university. So firstly, I wanted to just talk a little bit about where we are in New Zealand. So I'm assuming you already know a little bit about New Zealand, about the size of New Zealand, about the culture in New Zealand. Just talk a little bit about Wellington. So Wellington is the capital city of New Zealand. We are in the centre of New Zealand. So we're at the bottom of the North Island. You have Auckland in the top of the north and places like Christchurch and Dunedin in the south. So Wellington is the capital city of New Zealand. We have about 500,000 people that call Wellington home. We are a harbour city, so we're surrounded by the ocean and mountains. We also have the highest median income in New Zealand. So if you are planning to come and study somewhere, Wellington's a great jumping point because we have people from all around New Zealand that come to Wellington for work because we have the highest average salary. We're also known as a cafe capital, so we have more cafes and restaurants per capita than New York. So very much a foodie scene here and very much a lot of restaurants, festivals and cafes to enjoy. So this is the beautiful city of Wellington. So one of the things that I love about this picture is that everything that as a student you need is in this picture. You have the university campuses, which I'll talk about more soon. You have the movies, you have your shopping, you have the central business district, you have the beach, you have the museum, the galleries, restaurants, cafes, nightlife. You also have government, train stations. The airport is just a 10-minute drive away. So it's a very nice, easy, accessible city. One of the most wonderful things is that you can walk everywhere. It takes 5 to 35 minutes to walk anywhere in that picture. To walk around the harbour, it takes about 35 minutes. So it's a really nice place to come and live if it's the first time that you're moving overseas, or if you want somewhere where it's really easy to call somewhere home, really welcoming, warm and cosy. Wellington's the perfect city for you. 90% of our students and staff use public transport to get to work. So we've also got a really great public transport system as well. Wellington in New Zealand is known for being safe and friendly. So you know you're coming to a safe location when you are coming to study. It's regularly ranked as one of the safest cities and countries in the world. New Zealand people are also known for being quite friendly and welcoming. So something you can look forward to, especially if you're coming to move overseas for the first time. Wellington is a diverse city. So we have more than 35% of the population that was born outside of Wellington, as well as the local multicultural population itself. So lots of people from different cultures and also different backgrounds and perspectives call Wellington home, which is something that a lot of our students talk about, so everybody feels welcome here. We're also known as a creative capital. So as I mentioned, we have the National Museum in Wellington. We've also got lots of great art galleries. We also have a thriving film hub as well. So a large film industry and design industry in Wellington, as well as many arts and food festivals, and lots of other things which make it a really fun place to live. We're also known as a tech capital, so we're more startup companies than any other city in New Zealand, and tech organisations as well. So if you are interested in studying IT, great place to come and study. As mentioned, we are surrounded by the ocean and mountains, so very clean and green, a really nice, lovely environment to live in. And I do think you get the best of both worlds, where you have the outdoors and also the city life to enjoy. You don't have to pick between the two. So Wellington is a small city, but it does have a big city feel. It's not, you can see, I like to say that Wellington is like pulling all the best bits of a capital city and putting them in Wellington without all the bad bits. And then you have Wellington. So a really nice, fun, welcoming place to live. So a little bit about the university, Victoria University of Wellington, Te Herenga Waka. So we have about 22,000 students, and we have 3 campuses based across the city from the picture that you just saw. We have more than 43 research institutes and more than 100 and students that come from more than 100 countries around the world. A little bit about the university rankings and accreditations. So we are ranked #1 in New Zealand for research intensity. So what does this mean? The government every 4 years does an assessment of the research quality of the universities across New Zealand. So that happens every 4 years, and for the second time in a row, Victoria University of Wellington ranked the top in research quality and intensity. So that's something that we're really proud of. This research is done by the lecturers that are teaching you, especially if you're doing postgraduate study. This is the research that you can be contributing to as well. So you'll know it's at a high quality and it is highly valued at the university. The university is ranked 241 in the world with the QS rankings. We also have an EQUIS and ACSB Business School accreditations. We are the top 1% of the world's university for 15 subject areas. And we also have a QS 5-star rating, QS 5-star plus outstanding ranking. So there are actually only 13 universities in the world that do have the 5-star plus ranking. So we're pretty proud to have that. And this ranking system takes a detailed look at institutions, identifying which universities are best in specific topics that care about that you care about, things like program strength, facilities, graduate employability, social responsibility, inclusiveness, and others. So it's looking at kind of more of the holistic value of the university for the student with the support services and also the graduate outcomes. So we're also ranked in the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings 2023. So as you may have seen in a previous slide, we are aiming to be carbon zero by 2030. So a lot of the initiatives, small and large, are being put into place at the university to meet that target. All right, I just wanted to pull up what subjects were ranked in the top 100 for 2023. Those are development studies, English language and literature, law, linguistics, politics and international relations, library and information management. Also ranked in the top 50 in anthropology, earth and marine sciences, psychology, hospitality, history, performing arts, theatre, religious studies, and sociology. And our Humanities and Social Sciences group is regularly ranked as one of the top in the world and one of the largest in New Zealand as well.
So it's a really wide array of high-ranking subjects. I mean, it's not limited to business or humanities only. It's quite varied, I have to say.
Yes, yeah, and that's something we're really proud of with business, sciences, arts. You know, it's a comprehensive offering, but there's so much to offer, and a lot of the subjects really link with the strengths of the city as well. So you're not only able to study these really well-ranked courses, but also the environment that you're in helps support that learning as well. Great. So having a look at our campuses. So this is the city, and we have 3 campuses spread across the city. So on the left-hand side, you can see our Pipitea campus. This is our business and law campus. Kelvin campus in the middle, the highlighted green section. This is our main campus. This is called the Kelvin campus. On the far right, we have the Te Aro campus. This is where you'd study architecture and design. We also have a Miramar Creative Centre at the top. That is in the heart of the film and design industry of the city. So it's a very industry-focused location and very great for those industry-focused programs. So students who would study postgraduate film or design technology would study out at that campus. We also have a Computational Media Innovation Centre, which is based in the centre of the city, and that's for programs like user experience design and other design or industry-focused programs. So this is just a closer look. This is our business school and our law school. This is a picture of Kelvin campus, the main campus, which I showed you, which is the largest one. At this campus, we offer education, engineering, health, humanities, social sciences, and science. Then our Te Aro campus, where we have our architecture and design programs, which is right in the heart of the creative, funky, hip part of the city. So we are a comprehensive university. This is a very brief overview of what we offer, from architecture and design studies, buildings, science, business, government, design, film, media, education and teaching, engineering, health, humanities, law, music and theatre, science, and social sciences. So we do offer more than 170 different subjects. So there are a lot to choose from under these titles. So do have a look, check out what there is to offer. So we do offer programs at all of these levels. So we do have a foundation program. This is for students who haven't got the entry requirements to get into university to do a bachelor's degree. We offer a 3-year bachelor's degrees. We also offer master's degrees, so a 1-year master's program or a 2-year master's program. We have graduate diplomas, which are bridging courses up to the master's degree if you haven't got the right background or need extra study. We also have PhD, so this is for post doctorate studies. We also have a English for Academic Purposes program. So I will talk a little bit about a few of these programs, not all of them. I'm going to focus on some key master's programs, but you can see the breadth of what we do offer at the university at all of the different levels. So a little bit about the admissions requirements. So for undergraduate bachelor's programs, we do have a guaranteed entry system in New Zealand where students just need to meet the general academic requirement for their country, and they'll be able to meet the entry requirements into all of our programs. So there are some exceptions, some things like that need registration, like education, teaching, or midwifery or nursing, things like that have extra requirements, but a majority of the programs, you just need to meet the one entry requirement, and if English, if applicable, and then you would get into the program. For postgraduate and master's programs, a majority of the programs need a bachelor's degree with a B average. There are some programs that will allow a B minus, some that require a B plus, and some that have additional entry requirements, such as a CV, a statement of intent, or a portfolio, and also the English requirement, if applicable. So just to have a quick peek at our English requirements. So obviously these are all on our website, and New Zealand Shores knows all of these in detail, but just giving you an idea of what we do accept from IELTS to TOEFL to PTE. So the equivalent of a 6.5 for postgrad and a 6.0 for undergrad. We do accept Duolingo for undergrad and case by case for postgraduate programs. We also have an English language program at the university. So if your English isn't quite up to the 6.0 or 6.5 IELTS level required to enter your bachelor's or master's degree, you can study an English for academic purposes program with us first. So this program is an academic English program. So it's specifically designed to support students and prepare students for university study. It's not English. It's not general English, it's academic English. So in the course, you are studying topics, you're doing assignments and themes. So it is quite an intensive course as well. So not for the faint-hearted, but definitely if you want to improve, do really well, get into university, or just really improve your English, then this is a great program for you. Our English school is actually the oldest English institute in New Zealand. So we've got over 60 years of experience teaching English. The English program is taught in our School of Linguistics and Applied Language Studies. We have 3 intakes per year. They're in February, June, and September, and they're all 12 weeks long. So 12-week intensive courses, so you have classes every day, and they go every morning from, I think, 9 till 12 or 1. And then you also have preparation time and assignments and many activities as well. To get into the program, you do have to have at least a pre-intermediate level of English. So this would be equivalent to about an IELTS 4.5. So taking into consideration the level that you would need to do the program you're choosing, so you either need a 6 or a 6.5 if you're going into masters, 1 term of EAP can improve your English approximately half an IELTS level. So if you did have a 4.5 before you started EAP, you would need to, at 1 term of EAP, you would increase to a 5. So if you wanted to increase to a 6 from a 4.5, you would have to do a full year, 3 terms of EAP. So I hope that makes sense. So bear that in mind when planning and thinking about doing an EAP, and especially if you are going to transfer to a master's program afterwards, because master's programs, they don't all have an intake every month of the year, 3 times a year. Some might only have an intake once or twice a year. So you have to calculate that into when you might start your EAP program.
That last part, except teaching midwifery and nursing, is that because an English test is required for entry into these?
Yes, because those are registration programs, they lead to a registration, and they're an external body that does do the registration for the program. So yes, they would need to pass an English test to be able to do those programs. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about our 3 year diploma pathway for Chinese diplomas. So this is a very new pathway, which was just approved this year. So we've only just started promoting it, and we are excited to have some students commencing this program next year. So the pathway is for students who have studied at a Chinese institution a 3-year diploma. If they have studied a 3-year diploma, then they could come and study a 1-year graduate diploma. And after the graduate diploma, transfer into one of our master's degrees. So in total, that could be 2 to 3 years in total to complete the master's degree. Some of our master's programs are 1 year long, some are 2 year long. It depends on which one you decide to choose. So we do have them in different subject areas. So business, humanities and social sciences, architecture and design, and engineering. So if you wanted to study business masters, then you would first study a diploma in commerce, and then the master's programs you could transfer into are a Master of Global Business, Master of Business Analysis, and Master of Professional Accounting. These are also 3 of our most popular programs, and I'm going to be talking a little bit more about them in a little while. All of these programs are what we call conversion masters. So for these programs, you do not have to have a business background in your diploma to be able to study them. You can have any 3-year diploma to study them. It is the opportunity to study something new and to get into business if you have not already got that background. In the humanities and social sciences, you would study a graduate diploma in arts, and then you would transfer into the Master of TESOL, Master of Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, and the Master of Applied Sciences, Linguistics. These are also very popular programs for us, and lucky for you, I'm going to talk a little bit more about them in a little while. We also have an architecture and design. We have a graduate diploma in designed environments, and then you could transfer into the Master of Urban and Regional Planning, Master of Architectural Science, Master of Architecture, Non-Professional, Master of Interior Architecture, and Master of Landscape Architecture. There's also a graduate diploma in Design Innovation, where you can transfer into the Master of Design Innovation or Master of Design Technology. In engineering, you would study the graduate diploma in science, and then you could transfer into the Master of Software Development, Master of Artificial Intelligence, or Master of Computer Science. So for a majority of these programs, you do need to have your diploma in a similar subject area. There are a few, like the business ones I mentioned, and also this Master of Software Development, which are exceptions where you can be from any background, because they are specifically designed for students who do not have a related background, especially the Master of Software Development, which I will talk about more in a moment. So a very exciting pathway that we are excited to launch.
Awesome, thanks Fiona. That's really good to know about this pathway. And as my understanding is that the majority of the level 9 master's program requires students to hold a bachelor degree or a relevant bachelor degree on it. However, this pathway offers a really friendly option to students who do not hold a bachelor degree or not a relevant bachelor degree on it, but who still want to do a master's level qualification. So that is really great. So here I'll just briefly mention the benefits, really great benefits for students to study this level 9 master program. So basically, if a student completes a level 9 master program, they would get a 3-year post-study work visa with the open condition. And plus, students' partner can also get an open condition work visa, and their kids can apply for dependent child student visas if they are at the schooling age. So the open condition here for a partnership work visa means that partners can work for any employer in any occupation or even choose to be self-employed. So we really welcome this pathway to have more students to choose to study this master's program.
Just a side comment on this one. I mean, these masters that you're offering also have excellent employment opportunities, particularly in the software development or urban planning. There is a lot of work out there. So definitely, really good options for people considering moving to New Zealand, not only to study and live at that, but also to settle in New Zealand permanently. Just as a side note, Fiona, what are the English entry requirement for the initial graduate diploma? That's 6.5 or equivalent?
Yes, thank you for asking me that. It is the 6.0 requirement. So it is not the postgraduate entry requirement. Into the graduate diploma, it would be the 6.0 undergraduate requirement.
So for those students who might be falling a little short, they could start with 3 or 6 months of EAP, for instance, and then move into the graduate diploma.
Yes, yes.
Brilliant.
Okay, great. So I'm going to move into just talking a little bit more about some of the programs that I just mentioned. So some of them in business and government, in the arts, and in also engineering. So firstly, I wanted to talk about our business and government. So you'll see the arrow on the left-hand side, that is pointing to our business school. The arrow at the top points down to our law school. It's an old cream building. And then the arrow on the right points to Parliament. This is the beehive. So our business school and our law school are right across the road from Parliament. It is literally a 1-minute walk to get to Parliament. All in this sector, at this picture as well, next blocks away from the university is all of the public sector organisations. We also have the Supreme Court, we have the High Court, you've got the New Zealand Defence Force, you've got all of the diplomatic missions. That is all within about 6-7 blocks of the university campus. So this is a really wonderful location to study business and government. As I mentioned, not only are you studying really wonderful courses, but also the environment that you are studying in is really good. One of the great things is that since we have such a large public sector organisation, like the government is one of the largest employers in Wellington, a lot of the people that work in the public sector also come and study at the university. So they are doing their masters, they are wanting to upskill and improve as well. So your classmates will be people already working in the industry, already working in the public sector. So they add different perspectives to classes. It's really great for networking. And a lot of our students say it's one of the best parts of their student experience was actually their classmates that they are working with and learning from. So you have like triple fold, you have great courses, a wonderful environment, which is inspiring, interesting, and also wonderful classmates. We have ex-prime ministers which lecture at the university. So it's a very well connected to government and policy making and entrepreneurship as well. So looking at one of our popular programs, the Master of Global Business. So this is a professionally focused postgraduate program that allows you to build on your business skills and gain valuable skills in global business strategy and analysis. It is a 1-year full-time program, so it's 3 trimesters, and you have classes every day on campus. So this program is aimed at graduates from any discipline. As I mentioned, this is a conversion master's, so you do not have to have a business background to study it. You can have any background. You could have studied design or science or anything. It's for those who want to change or to just get their foot in the door in business and get a master's degree. So as a coursework program, you will develop solid business skills by exploring how global interconnectedness impacts and influences effective managerial practice. And you can focus on different specializations within the business school as well, depending on what your interests are. One of the great aspects of this program is that you do have an industry consultancy program. So this is where you'll work with a New Zealand or international organisation on a consultancy program and gain real-world experience. So the entry requirements for this program are a bachelor's degree in any discipline with a B average. Another popular program is our Master of Business Professional Business Analysis. So here you will gain skills in business and systems analysis, databases and analytics, management and consulting, and digital strategies and innovations. It is an industry-focused qualification designed for people from any background. So it is 1.5 years, so it's about 4 trimesters long. You can start the program in February or November. You'll have regular weekday lectures, tutorials and application activities. This program also has a project with industry. So you will work with an industry partner to identify, implement and present an intervention, analysis or project situation in consultation with an industry client. So lots of access to industry and projects there as well. So for this program, a bachelor's degree in any discipline with a B- average is required for entrance. This program, as part of the application process, also requires a statement of intent. So one of my key points to remind people when they are writing their statement of intent is do take your time to write it, because the people accepting you to the program do read it as well. So you have to make sure that what you want to study, why you want to study this program, aligns with the focus of the program. So just remember that when you're writing a statement of intent, because if you don't, then you may not be accepted to the program. So do have a look at what the aims of the program is on the website, and then tailor your statement of intent to that. Master of Professional Accounting is also a very, very popular program. This is 3 to 5 trimesters, depending on which pathway of the Master of Professional Accounting you'll take. You can have, it's quite flexible with its delivery. So they have classes during the day and also in the evening, because we have a lot of professional working people who also study the program. So it's for graduates of any discipline. So no accounting, maths, numbers background required. It has 2 intakes per year, one in February and one in November. So as I mentioned, a bachelor's degree or equivalent in any background with generally a B average. So there are 2 pathways. So one pathway is a traditional pathway. We call it a standard pathway, which is 3 trimesters long, and you can get the Chartered Accountants Australia New Zealand academic accreditation. There is also another pathway, which is the MPA, the Master of Professional Accounting Chartered Accountants pathway. So the difference between the 2 is the Chartered Accountants pathway allows you to study the Chartered Accountants modules that you would need to become an accountant while you are studying. So you can study it both at the same time. If you study the traditional pathway, you would have to study the modules, the Chartered Accountants modules, after you complete that program. So maybe while you are working. So it may take you a little bit longer to become fully accredited, and cost a bit more as well. So it is New Zealand's only accounting program to offer both the academic and technical requirements of Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand. It is the quickest way to gain full accounting professional recognition. And it is a head start in your career compared to other MPAs offered. So you will develop your professional skills in financial management, accounting, information systems, financial reporting, business, law, auditing, and corporate governance. It is only 2 months longer than the traditional pathway, and it saves you a minimum of 2 years where you would be studying that part-time when you finish the traditional pathway, and it would also save you $13,000.
Just a side note on this one that so it does lead to registration as a chartered accountant. Is that correct?
Yeah, so you still need to do the working hours. So even after you've done all the modules, there are still a number of working hours that you need to complete, and then you can apply to be a chartered accountant. So the difference with, the traditional pathway, you just get the Master of Professional Accounting degree. Then when you can get a job, but while you are working, you will also need to study the modules. You'll need to study the modules, and you'll have to do the number of hours required to get the accreditation. If you do the Master of Professional Accounting CA, Chartered Accountants pathway, from the beginning, this will mean you're just studying for 2.5 months longer, and you do all of the modules all at the same time. So the only thing left would be to do the working hours, which is a bit easier. And it also saves you $13,000. So yeah, a majority of our students, if they haven't got a lot of experience, they would do the Master of Professional Accounting CA pathway.
Great, thanks, Fiona. I've got a question regarding this program, because we've got lots of clients who have got accounting experience, or who've been already working as an accountant, but who does not have a relevant bachelor degree, or even a bachelor degree in any specializations. And I see that it's clearly stated that a bachelor degree will be required to meet the academic requirements for this program. Will the Department of Accounting offer any special admission for students who don't?
It is, so they're very strict. So the only other option would be the graduate diploma for the Chinese diploma. So if you have a Chinese 3-year diploma and you wanted to do the MPA, then you could do the graduate diploma pathway by studying the graduate diploma in business, I think it is, and then you would transfer into the Master of Professional Accounting. But other than that and the bachelor's degree, there is no other leniency. They're quite strict with that. So talking about our Master of Applied Linguistics and TESOL now, they do sit in our Wellington Faculty of Humanities and Social Science. So as I mentioned, Wellington is a really creative artist city, and we also have one of the largest humanities and social sciences faculty in New Zealand. So a real focus on the arts, politics, creativity, and culture and language. So a really wonderful place to come and study applied linguistics and TESOL. Our linguistics program is also ranked in the top 100 in the world. So a really highly valued program. So there are 2 programs here. They are both run out of our School of Linguistics, and there are many similarities with them. So the Master of TESOL will help you develop your teaching skills, strengthen your understanding of language, learning, and common challenges. And the Master of Applied Linguistics will enable you to explore a wide range of topics in applied linguistics, including how to carry out research on topics related to using learning and teaching second and additional languages. So it is a 1 year, 1 to 1.5 year program, 3 to 4 trimesters. You can start this program in February or July or November each year. So it's very flexible with those intakes, which is great. And you would have weekday lectures on campus. So it is a coursework or a coursework and research program. So what this means is you have your 3 or 4 trimesters. You can choose to either study classes, which are with a lecturer and you do assignments. You can study that for the whole 3 trimesters. Or you could choose to study for 2 trimesters and do courses. And then for the last 1 or 2 trimesters, you would do research on a specific topic that you are interested in. So it depends on what you are interested in and how you like to study, on which pathway you would like to choose. Definitely, if you are interested in doing further study, or if you're interested in a really specific area of linguistics or TESOL, then a research thesis is a really good option to have. And it also opens up opportunities in the future in case you want to do further study. The entry requirements to this program are a bachelor's degree or equivalent with a B average in either linguistics, linguistics, education, English language, or in another language, or another relevant degree. So if you are not sure if your degree is relevant, then you can just get in touch with us and we can have a look. You also need at least 2 years of professional experience in language education or a related field, and you need to submit a CV and recommendation letter with your application. Moving on to engineering. So as I mentioned, Wellington is a bit of an IT hub with more IT companies and startups than any other city in New Zealand. So really in-demand jobs, great industry location to start studying and getting into the IT sector. So we do have a number of programs in engineering. So I'm just going to talk about the Master of Software Development today, but we also have this is a conversion master's, and this is for students who don't have any software or engineering background. It's for students who want to change their degrees. So it's not ideal for people who have some background in computer science or engineering. So there are different options for people who do have previous experience in those subjects. So if you have a degree in computer science, you could also study our Master of Artificial Intelligence, or we also have a Master of Science in Computer Science. And then if you wanted to do that, you could focus on software engineering. If you have an engineering degree, you could study a Master of Engineering or a Master of Engineering Practice. So those are programs that I'd recommend. They're very popular if you do already have a computer science background. This one, you will not be accepted to the program if you have any IT background at all. So it's absolutely for people doing something absolutely new. So it is to kickstart a new career developing web, mobile, or software applications. It's designed to help people from non-tech backgrounds pivot into the thriving tech industry. This is a 1-year full-time study program, and it is 3 trimesters long. There is 1 intake per year, which is in July, trimester 2. You'll have weekday classes, and this is for graduates from any discipline wanting to change career, except for computer science. One of the other great parts of this program is that you will also do a industry research and development project. So this is where you'll work with a New Zealand ICT business on a project, or you'll do an industry project at the university. So you do need to have a B average in a non-related bachelor's degree to get into this program. So we have had graduates from this program. It is hard. The program's hard, I've been told, 1-year full-time program, but they've been able to go straight into really great IT jobs in Wellington. So it's definitely worth the work, especially for those who want a change in career. Likewise, if you have already got a degree in computer science, our other programs such as Master of Artificial Intelligence, Master of Engineering Practice, Master of Computer Science, Master of Engineering would also be great options for you. And likewise, you would still be able to go into a tech job after you do that as well. Our Master of Artificial Intelligence is our newest master's program, which I think it started a couple of years ago. So we were the first university in New Zealand to have a artificial intelligence, an AI school program. So the first to have an AI major in the Bachelor of Science, also the first to have a Master of AI of this type. For artificial intelligence, we also have the largest AI research group in the Southern Hemisphere. So we have a really great focus, a lot of really great research going on in this space as well. So a wonderful place to come and study those subjects if you're interested.
Quick question, please, Fiona. Those businesses that you partner with for the development projects, do you find that it is because they're interested in hiring your graduates at the end of the project?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, I was speaking to one of our students the other day, and he started with an industry project. Actually, 2 of our students that I just happened to speak to last week, both of them are working at the companies that either had an internship with or they did an industry project with. So Brilliant. A lot of the time, like, you'll get a part-time job there while you're studying, and then if they like your work, then that can lead to a permanent part-time job while you're working, or a full-time job when you finish.
I guess I'm raising this because this is very much our experience of it as well. You know, graduates doing a 2 or 3 months project with the business, and if they do a great work, they get a full-time job at the end of it.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a really, I think it's, one of the easiest areas to get a job in,
Absolutely.
IT. So yeah, if you're thinking of a career change, maybe check out Master of Software Development, because it's not going away anytime soon, the need for tech people.
Thank you, Fiona.
So just having a look at our key dates. So at Victoria University of Wellington, we have a trimester system, which can be a little bit confusing, but basically it's like 3 semesters. However, our trimester 3 is a shorter trimester. It has less offerings, and often the courses are intensive. So you might just have 4 weeks of classes and every day, rather than 12 weeks of classes. So our trimester 1 goes from March until late June. Our trimester 2 runs from July to November, and our trimester 3 runs from November to February. So trimester 3, usually we would have postgraduate programs that start at that time of year, if any. So the application deadlines, so for trimester 1, it's the 1st of December, for trimester 2, the 1st of May, trimester 3, 1st of September. We do have some programs that do have earlier application deadlines, none of the ones that I mentioned today, but we do on our website have a special webpage for application deadlines, so you can see which programs have earlier application deadlines. These are usually programs that require extra information like nursing, midwifery, teaching, and music. So our applications are always open, so you can apply at any time. So a little bit about accommodation. So if you are planning to live in university accommodation, we do have accommodation options, which are all over the city. So we've got 12 different accommodation halls that you can choose from. There are different options for if you were a first year student to if you are a mature, older student as well. But as you can see from this picture, the dark green boxes, those are our different campuses, and the light green boxes, those are all of the places that we do have accommodation. So you can see it's all very close walking distance. So no matter where you stay, you'll be able to easily walk to any of the accommodation options. And as well, of course, there is a private housing market if you did not want to live in university accommodation. So just having a close look, this is one of our first year halls. So it's a very typical first year hall where you have shared areas, shared restaurant, a canteen, bathroom, and you have your own room as well. This is another picture of a first year hall, a typical first year hall with your small room and shared facilities and restaurant. We do have other accommodation for students who are 20 years and over. These are called independent living halls, and they are more of a shared apartment style living where you would live with 3 to 5 other people. You'd have your own bedroom, but you would have a shared lounge, kitchen, and bathroom facilities. And this is more apartment style living. And then we also have a couple places which are studios. So you would have your own room, which includes your own bathroom and a small kitchenette like this. So a lot of our more mature students prefer this more private option. If you're not sure, you can come and live in a university accommodation hall for 1 year and then move out after your first year into the private market. Or many students will arrive a bit early to find somewhere to stay. So it is up to you, but do note that our university accommodation can fill up quickly. So do apply early for that to secure a spot. We also have a really wonderful international student services support team. So although so my team, we work with all of the students before they arrive to help them, prepare them to arrive and arrive safely and do all of that work. And then we have another team that does work to support all of our international students once they are arrived and during their studies. So it is a really wonderful support service that we encourage all students to take advantage of to help them succeed in their studies. We do have a free airport pickup. So once you have booked your tickets and know where you're going to stay the night that you arrive at least, you can fill in an online form for one of our team to pick you up from the airport and drop you off at your accommodation in the city. We also offer an international orientation. So this is in the week before classes begin, and this will help you orientate you to the university and its services, and also welcome you to the university. We have an insurance officer who can help you make any insurance claims while you're here. Our team there also offers pastoral care. So if you need any support, it might be personal, academic, or cultural, you can organise a meeting with one of our team to discuss what issues you are having. They also offer academic monitoring. So if you might be struggling in some of your courses, then they can also help link you with the right people to support you to improve. We also have an international buddy program. So this buddy program you can sign up to, and before you arrive, you can be paired up with an international buddy to help you in your first weeks of study. And this program also has a variety of events that they run throughout the year. So there's lots of different events that you can get involved with to meet other students. The university also has a huge number of support services. I won't go through them all now, but I've just listed a few really important ones, such as counselling and student health. So we've got a doctor on campus and counsellors, as well as disability services and academic learning support, a language learning centre, student finance, careers office, creche services, daycare if you have children, accommodation service, LGBTQI+ support services, and also religious facilities. As well as the City of Wellington having a wide range of activities for you to enjoy while you are here, the university also offers many activities. Other than a lot of activities at the new Student Orientation Week, there are also over 180 different clubs, societies and sports on campus that you can get involved with. I've mentioned the buddy program. If you do choose to live in a hall or university accommodation, the accommodation service also runs lots of events with those that live on their premises. If you are doing a bachelor's degree, you could also do a student exchange. So a student exchange is the opportunity to go and study overseas at an overseas university for 1 or 2 trimesters. So we do have more than 140 partners across the world that you could choose from if you wanted to do a study abroad. We also have lots of student associations. So depending on where you're from, there might be a cultural student association that you could join. We also have an international student association, a postgraduate student association, and many other groups that a lot of students like to get involved in of their time at the university. As mentioned, we have career services. So our careers office is really great. You can go to them for help with CV, for interview techniques, advice and support before applying for a job. They also advertise internships and part-time jobs and things like that. And they also organise career expos. So we have career expos, probably there must be about 10 a year or more across our campuses. And all of these organisations come into the university to recruit students for when the students graduate. So they come, they promote to the university. And one of the great things about being in Wellington is that we have all of these organisations here. They don't need to travel to get there. They just have to come down the road to be at the expo. So they're always really willing to come to our careers expos and recruit our students. So we have students that go and work at all of these locations, and the students will get jobs, 6 months before they graduate. So they'll know that they have a job. So that's really great. It is also up to the student. You have to go out, you go to these expos, you have to work really hard. You have to be a good option for them as well. But it's a really great opportunity for students. And a lot of the students will first go into graduate roles in these places, which more often than not turn into permanent roles after that. We also have a couple of leadership awards at the university. So if you are interested in extracurricular award programs or leadership programs, these would be really great programs for you. You study them alongside whatever degree you are doing, whether it be an undergraduate or a master's program. It is extracurricular, self-paced. So you will attend a series of different seminars or workshops or do different kinds of activities to gain points to get an award at the end of it. You also get a certificate and it will go on your academic transcript. There are two programs. One's called the International Leadership Award, which is more about global competency, thinking critically about global leadership and the challenges in world affairs. And then we have a Victoria Plus program, which is more about developing your social responsibility skills and volunteering in the community. So they're a little bit different. One's more global, one's more at a community level, but they're both really wonderful programs. Some students do both of them. They're also a really great place to, especially the Wellington Plus program, to do volunteering and get part-time jobs and things like that. That's really great for employability. And a really great place to meet other students as well, like especially not from your own, what you're studying. So sometimes you might just meet students in your classes. Doing the leadership programs, you'll meet students from all different disciplines, doing all different subject areas. So nice place to meet different people too. If you do have questions, we do have students online. We have online chat rooms. It's where you can go online to meet our students. So these are just 3 of them. There's about 20, I think. So you can go onto our website and there is a section called Chat with Our Students or Meet Our Students. And you can go in and look at all of the students there, what they're studying, where they're from, and see if you would like to ask any of them any questions to get a student's perspective on what it is like to study here in Wellington. I also wanted to mention some of our scholarships before I finish. We do have currently, it's the 2023 Vice Chancellor's Undergraduate Scholarship. This is just about to end. But if you do decide to have a last minute application, you may be eligible for a $10,000 scholarship. Other than that, our international scholarship is called the Tongarewa Scholarship. So this is an award for $5,000 to $10,000 for students who have achieved highly academically. So generally students with a B+ or more can apply for this scholarship and potentially be successful as well. There are also a number of master's specific scholarships. These are always on our website, so do check it out. They do range each year. But they're often in the subjects like conservation biology, drug discovery, law, and I think this year we also had some engineering masters in there as well. We have Latin American student scholarships, and also if you study at high school in New Zealand and are going to transfer to university, also New Zealand High School International School Leaver scholarships. Great, so that brings me to the end of my discussion about the university. Did we have any questions, Fabian or Winnie?
Not so much questions. Well, first, a very big thanks for a very thorough presentation. We had heaps of questions before the presentation, but the vast majority have been answered. So thank you so much for your time, Fiona. Scholarships is a topic that comes very often in our emails. Studying in New Zealand as an international student is an expensive undertaking, but as we've seen through the many opportunities offered both during and after studies, it's well worth the expense or the investment. Now, the scholarships are typically applied for at the time of enrollment, or how does that work exactly?
Yeah, so usually most of them are at the time of enrollment. So a lot of students, if they might have already paid their fees, and so they would get that as a refund into their student account when they arrive. If they haven't paid their fees, then they could sometimes pay their tuition fees less the scholarship amount. So it really depends at what point they are in the visa and fee payment process. But either way, it will always be put on the student's account.
Thank you. So I've got one more question regarding this Master of Software Development. So it's really good to know that this program is specifically offered to students who do not have the IT background. Who do not have the IT academic background. So how about for students who do not have a academic IT relevant bachelor degree, but they do have got IT work experience? Can they apply for this program? because they might want to change their career from, let's say, IT projects manager to software developer?
Yeah, so no, generally no. If they've got any IT experience, then they won't be accepted into the program, any IT background or relevant degree.
Thanks again, Fiona, for your time.
Sure. Thank you. And yeah, any other questions, just let me know.